You can't park in the crosswalk to begin with, so barriers protecting pedestrians, I think, is actually not a bad idea. I have young children.
That's what the city council wants to do. Barriers at 1,000 intersections a year and making it illegal to park within 20 feet of every intersection, known as daylight.
I think it'll take up spaces for a lot of spaces that we're trying to park, but it could be beneficial for the safety of pedestrians.
The DOT did a study which showed that universal daylighting might actually lead to more injuries. Matt Rosenberg, 1010 News on 92.3.
At the Boston Marathon today,
Sharon Loketti broke the Boston Marathon course women's record, and fellow Kenyan John Collier joined his brother as men's champion on Monday on a historic day and long weekend for the city. The runners followed in the footsteps of a Paul Revere reenactor who rode down Boylston Street and proclaimed the runners are coming as the race celebrated the 250th anniversary of the start of the Revolutionary War. Loketti finished in an unofficial 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 22 seconds. Collier won in 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 45 seconds. Ethan Coolbaugh, Boston.
Walgreens settles tonight.
Walgreens has agreed to pay $300 million over allegations of invalid prescriptions the chain filed and sought payment for under a health care program. The Justice Department says the drugstore chain filed millions of fake prescriptions for opioids and other controlled substances, then billed cases of Medicare for repayment. The money will be paid out over 6 years, and if the company is sold, merged, or transferred before 2032, it will owe another $50 million.
Correspondent Matt Piper. Did you hit the gym this morning, or are you a night person? A new report says when you exercise might make a difference.
A study published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology finds people who work out either early or late in the morning have an 11 to 16% lower risk of heart disease and strokes than others who wait until the afternoon. Women have the strongest benefits with a 35% lower risk of stroke and 24% lower risk of coronary artery disease. The ideal sweet spot for exercise, researchers found between 8 and 11 a.m. Not to worry if you can't pick it up until later in the day. Experts agree any exercise is better than none, and consistency is key. Deborah Rodriguez for 1010 Wins.
Ready or not, it's a sequel.
On the road, rush hour doesn't always move so fast. But at home, Optimum Fiber doesn't take slow for an answer. Get the fastest fiber internet in the tri-state, starting at $40 a month. So you can... With lightning fast fiber, Optimum Fiber. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com and switch today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Still getting around to that fix in your car? You got it. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to take the place. For changes big and small. Loud, quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. You already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to vaccinsist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our fault. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now 1010 Wins Entertainment. Ready or not, here comes the sequel.
You can hide anywhere. We then try to find you.
So there's no way for me to win, huh?
Stay hidden till dawn.
Sarah the Killer and Elijah Wood will star in the horror comedy sequel Ready or Not, Here I Come, and director David Cronenberg is also coming aboard. Plot details under wraps for now, no word yet on a release date. Director Spike Lee says he cast A$AP Rocky in his new movie after seeing a meme that compared Rocky to Denzel Washington. Lee's Highest to Lowest premieres next month at the Cannes Film Festival in France.
Entertainment on 1010 Wins is sponsored by Sheldon & Hill, New York's injury lawyer.
Go to PerkNY.com.
That's PerkNY.com.
Here to radio about the iOS.
They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-595-1395. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,005 reviews on Google and an A+ for the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-595-1395. That's 800-595-1395. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The station you know, the people you trust.
The news watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good evening, 52 degrees at 6:40. I'm Lori Nevin, and here's what's happening. The Vatican releases the cause of death of Pope Francis, along with his final wishes, as the Holy See begins the process of allowing the faithful to mourn. New Yorkers who met the Pope during his visit here a decade ago are sharing their memories tonight. Nadine Menendez, wife of former U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, is convicted of the same bribery charges as her husband. President Trump reportedly meeting with the heads of Target, Home Depot, and other companies to talk tariffs. Crayola may have its work cut out. Scientists say they've found a new color. In sports tonight, Mets host the Phillies in just a little while. Yankees and Cleveland. Knicks host the Pistons. 10-10 Wins AccuWeather says might see a few showers a little later on tonight. And then we have a warm and sunny week ahead of us with temperatures in the 70s. Wednesday time, 6:41. Time now for expanded traffic and transit from the Mercedes-Benz Edison.com traffic center. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, out of the Bronx heading to Westchester, you are feeling the heat on a couple of fronts. Southbound side of the Henry Hudson Parkway loaded from the Westchester line down towards K-Block Street in the Bronx as they work on a crash from the southbound Hudson. That is very slow right now from East Lincoln Avenue down to the Bronx. We had the drawbridge up on the hump earlier. That is partial, but still 95 is going to be better for you in either direction than dealing with the Hudson. Instead of the Henry Hudson, you're running out of options because the southbound Deegan, that's messy too from the Moss Loop all the way to the Cross Bronx. Even the Bronx River Parkway with some southbound brake lights south of Fordham Road. City-bound George, 15 to 20 on the upper, 10 to 15 on the lower. The west side, the best of it out. Lincoln's about 10 minutes in. Outbound Lincoln's all right. Holland, no more than 2 minutes out. Extra fuel from the Skyway. You're still better off of the Newark Bay. Again, Queensbound RFK and Whitestone slow at that Met game. In about a half hour, the Throgsneck Clearview, best of it out of the Bronx, and getting you home through Queens. Connecticut, northbound 95, still slow from the state line all the way up through Stamford. It's a little bit better on the northbound Merritt, assuming you are not in a truck. The Mario Cuomo Bridge, that's in pretty decent shape either way. But in Rockland, the northbound thruway is slow getting through West Nyack off of the Mario Cuomo Bridge. I'm Greg Rice, 10-10 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Bells toll in Rome, as they did around the world today to mark the death of Pope Francis. The Vatican says the Pope's death was caused by a cerebral stroke that led to a coma and irreversible heart failure. He decreed in his will that he be buried in St. Mary Major Basilica in a simple underground tomb in Rome. And now the Holy See begins the process of allowing the faithful to pay their final respects and the election of a new pope. No dates have been set for the funeral. Here in the city, students and faculty at an East Harlem school remember the day they received a visit from the Pope during his visit back in 2015.
Pope Francis was fatherly and playful with the kids and some newly arrived migrants at the visit to Our Lady Queen of Angels School. Monsignor Kevin Sullivan arranged the meeting through Catholic Charities.
He interacted with them. One of the groups gave him what we would call a soccer ball, but I'm sure he called it a football.
Sullivan recalled that Francis seated it around them.
The challenge that leaves to each one of us is that each in our own individual way, we make room at the table.
The school is closed for the Easter holiday, but photos of the Pope's visit have been placed at the entrance. Marla Diamond, 10-10 Wins on 92.3 FM in East Harlem.
Among the Cardinals who will be traveling to Rome, Cardinal Dolan
asked for prayers for Pope Francis. After early morning mass, evidence described Francis' expression of faith and leadership.
In his simplicity, in his humility, in his easy willingness. These were stewarded so well.
Here at St. Pat's, churchgoers telling me how Francis touched them.
I grew up in the church, really kind of moved away over the years, but he really embodied everything that, as a kid, was important.
And he says he's here to say a prayer for Pope's eternal peace. Juliet Papa 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
President Trump today.
I just signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis.
The White House posted a photo of Francis meeting with Vice President J.D. Vance yesterday. Vance was one of the last people known to have met with the Pope before his death. And we have more on the Pope's final wishes on how he would like to be buried.
He wants the his tomb to be not extravagant and excessive. He said that the tomb must be in the earth, simple, without particular decoration, and with only the inscription Franciscus or Francis. And his will ends with the suffering that has become present in the last part of my life. I've offered to the Lord for peace in the world and brotherhood among people.
Correspondent Marcus Moore. Tributes have been pouring in from all around the world.
Journalist Susie Hodges says Pope Francis brought the common touch to his elevated position.
He did so many things that popes didn't do. Pick up the phone and ring somebody who'd been suffering. These were unprecedented things for the Pope to do.
At his own request, Francis relied on a simple wooden coffin, not on an elevated platform, but at the same level as the people he vowed to serve.
Correspondent Vicky Barker. Nadine Menendez, wife of former U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, has been convicted of the same charges that has her husband about to face an 11-year sentence and on bar with a federal jury in New York found Menendez guilty of teaming up with her husband to accept bribes of cash, gold bars, and a luxury car from 3 New Jersey businessmen looking for help with their dealings or legal troubles. Nadine Menendez has professed her innocence and says she never took any bribes. Sentencing has been scheduled for June 12th.
Hey everyone, it's Megan Trainor, and as a mom and a performer, staying energized isn't just the goal, it's a must. That's why I choose Terra Origin Healthy Hydration Plus. It's made with clean, high-quality ingredients that fuel my body and my busy day. With Terra Origin, I don't just keep up, I thrive. Try it yourself by going to TerraOrigin.com and use the code MEGHAN, MEGHAN, to receive 25% off your first order. Terra Origin. You'll feel the difference, I promise.
Hey guys, Scott Stanford here. While you're planning, researching trips, consider protecting your journey with a travel insurance plan from TravelGuard.com. I know how stressful it can be when travel plans don't always go as expected, and due to the increase of severe weather, there can be little to no warning signs when it comes to the threat of weather disrupting travel. So, if you need help adjusting travel dates or getting home safely, TravelGuard has your back. Visit TravelGuard.com. That's TravelGuard.com.
The Trump administration has made severe changes to immigration law. As an immigrant, these changes will drastically impact your life. Taking care of your immigration status must be the top priority. I'm immigration attorney Abder Abdullah. I understand the frustrations and fears immigrants face because I am an immigrant myself. My family immigrated from Somalia when I was 8 years old and gained political asylum. My firm, Bari Law, is located in Manhattan and specializes in all aspects of immigration law. The staff and attorneys at Bari Law are also former immigrants who are compassionate and experienced professionals. Call Bari Law immediately, 646-894-5900. I've lived your fears. Now I'm an immigration attorney who understands you and will fight for your rights. Call Bari Law immediately, 646-894-5900. At Bari Law, our clients come first. My passion makes me take your case personally. Call us immediately, 646-894-5900. 646-894-5900.
We're learning tonight about the Queen's house that was destroyed in a fatal fire yesterday. A house that had a history of complaints.
A drone that
as a single-family home, but in reality, Assemblymember David Pepperin says over a dozen people were living at 8725 Chevy Chase Street in illegally converted apartments. And he says the warning signs are in the records, complaints dating back years.
We've been getting complaints for over 2 years. Overcrowded, people are coming and going, at weird hours, all through the night.
Assemblymember Pepperin says he's writing up new legislation to crack down on landlords allowing these illegal construction projects to happen in single-family homes.
They accept dangerous living conditions because they feel they have no other option.
Mary Lynn Barry, 10 wins on 92.3 FM in Jamaica Estates.
The Trump administration has given New York another month to end congestion pricing after the state ignored yesterday's deadline and the one before that.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has warned Governor Kathy Hochul that New York risks serious consequences unless it stops collecting congestion pricing tolls. Duffy again pointed out that he terminated a November 2024 exception granted under the Biden administration that allowed congestion pricing to go forward. Hochul responded saying congestion pricing is legal and it's working. Traffic is down, business is up, and the counters are staying on. Toll collection was supposed to stop by March 21st, and then that deadline was extended until Sunday, April 20th. Duffy is now demanding New York's Department of Transportation respond by May 21st.
Correspondent Matt Picker. President Trump was meeting with executives from Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and other companies today to discuss tariffs. That's according to CNBC, which says the meeting was not listed on the president's public schedule. Meanwhile, tariffs are on the agenda when Vice President J.D. Vance meets with India's leader.
This is meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi as New Delhi looks to strengthen defense and commercial ties with the Trump administration and negotiate a deal to avoid tariffs. The U.S. is India's largest trading partner, and the two countries aim to seal a bilateral trade agreement this year. The family was greeted at the airport with a classical Indian dance performance and paid a visit to Akshardham Hindu Temple in New Delhi after their arrival. Vance's wife, Nisha, is a practicing Hindu whose parents are from India. Modi was among the first leaders to visit President Trump after he returned to the White House and has been signaling compliance with the administration's demands. But Trump has targeted India with a 26% levy, part of which has been paused. He's continued to call India a tariff abuser. I'm Jennifer Payne.
With news time 6:51, time now for expanded traffic, including the Hatfield Transit Desk here at Fort Rice.
They got some subway issues right now on the Queens-bound M and R trains. They've got delays because of issues over in Rockefeller Center. You got the New Jersey trains at Morris Nessus line with a delayed train. Double R North North are fine, as are the past trains at this hour. Now, the line on the 2 and 5 trains is also starting to slow down northbound because of issues of Grand Concourse. Just getting that in the last couple of minutes. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound Georgia, extra 2 on the upper, lower is better out of town. The west side, the best of it. Southbound Dean is still slow from Van Cortlandt Park south. Cross Bronx from Westchester Avenue. Lincoln and Holland and Millmore. They're a solid 10 minutes in either direction. Queensbound Whitestone and RFK still slow. Some Mets traffic. Throgs next to the Clearview, best of it out of the Bronx. And getting you home through Queens. Brooklyn down Brooklyn Bridge, that still slows out of lower Manhattan. The Manhattan Bridge and the Williamsburg Bridge, they will quickly get better. Bridges to and from Staten Island are fine. The Westbound Expressway isn't. You're slow from Slauson Avenue all the way back past Victory Boulevard. And the eastbound Staten Island Expressway is slow from South Avenue over to Richmond Avenue. The Belton Brooklyn still with some eastbound Company Bay Parkway and again east of Nashville all the way up to Pennsylvania Avenue. And then in Queens, you crawl again on the eastbound Belton to Van Wyck. Sunrise Highway. Traffic is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims. And in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Gloria, so it's been a pretty cloudy day for the most part. It's going to stay pretty cloudy as we head through the night tonight. Now we're still dry across the area for the most part right now. Showers are still off to the west, but later this evening as we get closer to midnight and into the overnight hours, there will be some showers that do move through. Temperatures really won't drop much. In fact, we expect temperatures to basically hold steady in the low to mid-50s. And in fact, temperatures may even start to rise a touch as we get closer to daybreak. Tomorrow may start off with a shower across eastern Long Island. It may have some stubborn clouds first thing, but it will turn increasingly sunny throughout the day. And temperatures will really take off into the afternoon. A high of 79. Will be breezy at times tomorrow as well. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, 53 in the city. It'll be in the 40s in the suburbs. Mostly sunny, a nice day on Wednesday, high 73. And still nice on Thursday with sunshine and some clouds. with a high around 72 degrees. And it's 52 right now, cloudy in Midtown. Temperatures will hold nearly steady overnight. I'm AccuWeather the meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
The color wheel has a new hue.
There are estimates that the average human eye can see almost 10 million colors, but there might be more. Scientists from the University of California shined laser beams into their retinas along with 2 other participants, and they all saw a brand new color. It's a super saturated tint of bluish green that's been given the name OLED. Researchers say this could open the door for a possible treatment for color blindness. They also hope it could be used on animals in the future so humans can see what they see.
Correspondent Jen Clark. And now this message. If you're heading to the Mets game from New Jersey, it might be a little late there, but the best way to get to the game, George Washington Bridge, you want to take the lower level and head over to the Whitestone. This report sponsored by RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Transforming your land with a John Deere compact tractor is as easy as connect, latch, load, haul, spread. Cutting grass is as simple as roll, click, mow. Box blading is as effortless as hook, lock, load. And backhoeing is as convenient as turn around, switch, dig. Because when you've got the versatility to tackle just about any job, and dealer support in your own backyard, you just have to get in the seat. Find the right compact tractor for you at johndeere.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable. High-performance fabrics and uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking or feeling good to change. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Now Bloomberg Money Watch.
Because stock markets were closed for Good Friday, Wall Street got its first chance today to weigh in on the White House effort revealed late last week to possibly fire Fed Chief Jerome Powell. And it didn't go well. Dow lost 972 points. NASDAQ down 416. S&P down 125. Losses of 2.5%. More than 4 of every 5 stocks trading today finished in the red. Following President Trump's social media tweet Thursday saying Powell's termination can't come soon enough. Then Friday, National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett said Trump was studying whether he could fire Powell. No more surprise announcement of fees on Airbnb. Today, the company announces that by default, it will show customers the total price of stays, including cleaning and service fees, to comply with the U.S. Federal Trade Commission rules set to go into effect next month. Airbnb customers in several other countries have had total pricing up front for years to comply with local laws. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Angelo O'Day. 10-10 wins on 92.3 FM. Spring has finally arrived. And if you think a new central air conditioning system is out of your budget, well, think again. Sloman's is here to change the game with their Spring Fling Sale. They're now offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2025 refrigerant compliant R454B systems, expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right. Get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, they're including a comprehensive service plan for the first 5 years, including annual system checks to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Servicing Nassau, Suffolk, and Queens County. Call Sloman's today at 516-932-7000 for your free AC estimate. But hurry, these cool savings won't last long. Call 516-932-7000. That's 516-932-7000.
18-month promo period. This offer is available through a third-party bank on approved credit. Interest is waived and funded during the same cash period. Terms and conditions apply.
My perfect day is sand, salt, water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Sky Rizin. Rizinkizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150-milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Sky Rizzi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Sky Rizin is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizzy.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
Live on the free Odyssey app.
10:10 and back here. This is cloudy, breezy tonight with a couple of showers later on. Low 52 degrees. We have reached our low, so the temperature is going to be holding steady. Tomorrow, summer-like day, partly sunny, high 78. In fact, the whole week is pretty much going to be like this. Tomorrow night's partly cloudy, low 53. Wednesday, partly sunny, high 73. Thursday, sunshine, high 72. Looking ahead to Friday, you might not get into the 70s. Still very nice, though. Sunshine, high 69. Right now, it is 52 degrees here in the city under a cloudy sky. The humidity is 56%. Winds out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Repeating the current temperature, 52 degrees under a cloudy sky. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. John Davis is our service aide. Tanya Mercado is at the editor's desk. I'm Laura Madden.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
52 degrees, cloudy at 7 o'clock. Good evening, I'm Lane Bajardi. Here's what's happening. Catholics around the world mourning Pope Francis, who died this morning at 88. We're learning more about his final wishes. Guilty on all counts, the verdict against the wife of former Senator Bob Menendez. Mayor Adams will abide by a judge's order to halt a plan to allow ICE to set up shop on Rikers Island ahead of a court hearing. Feds are now threatening New York State with funding cuts if the MTA doesn't shut off congestion causing cameras by a new deadline, May 21st. The Trump administration is planning to garnish the wages of people who are behind on their student loans. Sports, Knicks host the Pistons, game 2 of their opening NBA playoff series. Mets host the Phillies, the Yankees in Cleveland. AccuWeather says mainly cloudy tonight with a couple of showers left. Breezy at times with a low of 52. Winds News Time 7:01, traffic and transit with Greg Wright.
Well, pretty slow here on the southbound FDR Drive. We're all jammed up from the 90s coming down towards East 63rd Street. Reporting the crash. The avenue's headed downtown down west side. We'll treat you a whole lot better. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound George, good enough now to the upper and lower. Southbound Deegan still very messy from Van Cortlandt Park South. Northbound Deegan slows from Yankee Stadium. Harlem River Drive heaviest out of the 130s and the Cross Bronx. Still a bit of a crawl from Sheridan Boulevard. Lincoln and Holland, no more than a few on 80. Brooklyn bound. Brooklyn Bridge still very slow out of lower Manhattan. The bridges turned from Staten Island behave. The westbound Staten Island Expressway is not great yet. Westbound Staten Island Expressway very slow heading past Victory Boulevard. For New Jersey, Garden State Parkway, New Jersey, Turnpike, no major issues in Westchester. Northbound, stay with 95. The Hutch slows into the crossroads, and the Hutch gets bad again from Weaver Street all the way on up towards North Street. In Connecticut, 95 is the worst of it, but get there first. In Westchester, 95 northbound, the better idea. Traffic is sponsored by Chef IQ Sense. Buy one today at chefiq.com. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
The Chef IQ Sense is a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat to achieve perfection. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense now and enter code WORDGOOMER for 15% of your purchase.
The Catholic Church has begun a 9-day mourning period for Pope Francis. The Vatican announcing the Pontiff died early this morning, less than a day after he appeared in St. Peter's Square for Easter.
The faithful packed St. Peter's Square Monday evening for the Rosary prayer for the late Pope Francis. Earlier, church bells rang out, one for each of his 88 years of life, and the Vatican lowered flags to half-staff in his honor.
Tina Krause reporting from Rome. In a final break with tradition, Francis will not be buried in St. Peter's Basilica. Instead, he'll be laid to rest in St. Mary Major, a 5th century church in Rome dedicated to the Virgin Mary. Details of his burial wishes are outlined in a will issued by the Vatican Press Office. The Pope wants his tomb to be simple, without decoration, with a one-word inscription, Franciscus.
This is a man who was a different kind of pope, and when you read through his will, that really comes through. And what we will see in the funeral that is expected in the days ahead, that it will be in line with his wishes, and something that he hoped would be more of a less excessive and more of a humble type of proceeding, and that is the kind of pope that he was.
Correspondent Marcus Moore. The process for selecting a new pope will begin soon.
The leader of the church right now is Pope Francis's consigliere, the former Archbishop of Dallas, Cardinal Kevin Farrell. He's the one that will assure the Vatican's day-to-day operations continue, make decisions that need to be made, but he does not have the power of the Pope's ring, his seal, that confers ultimate authority over the Vatican. No one will have that until Francis's successor is chosen.
Correspondent Aaron Katursky. 1010 Wins reporter Juliet Papa was in Rome during the last conclave, giving us a sense of what's ahead this time.
People from all over the world gathered in St. Peter's Square. Some told me they watched as the smokestack was erected to signal the results of the conclave. Blacks